Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. Let's get started. I have 3 DIYs for you today. The first one that we are going to be doing is going to be a topiary, and it's going to be with eggs. But first we're going to use this foam cone that I got at the Dollar Tree, these 2 ribbons, and some moss, this weird looking funnel, some eggs. Everything's from the dollar store, and I'm going to be using some white Waverly chalk paint. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foam cone, I'm going to stick my scissors in it to get it started for a hole, and then I'm going to stick that little funnel in beneath it. These cones were really small and I wanted my tree to be a little bit bigger, so that's why I used that. The funnels, you can purchase them, they're like 3 for $1 at Dollar Tree, and they come in 3 different sizes. So what I'm doing first is I'm taking the moss, also from Dollar Tree, and I'm sticking that on, just pouring some hot glue on it, and then I'm just pressing down. Just be very careful you don't burn your fingers because I do this very often. So I am wearing finger protectors, as you can see. So I really want to fill this out really well with the moss. You can use any moss. This is just regular green moss. They also have Spanish moss at the Dollar Tree and I believe reindeer moss. So there it is, all done, looking really cute. And now I'm going to take this really pretty burlap ribbon that they have at Dollar Tree now. I found it there and they have all different designs, super pretty, super decorative, and so high-end looking. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a little line of glue there with my glue gun, and I'm just sticking it down at the bottom just to give the finished bottom a little bit of a finished look. And I go all the way around with this, and then I'm going to cut the excess off. Now also what I'm going to be doing is coming in with some of those Easter eggs that you saw. I needed 4 packages to do this size of a Easter tree. So just so you know ahead of time how many packages, if you want to do something like this, how many you may need. So what I did is these were kind of bright for me and I like the rustic look. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking my chipboard paintbrush, not chipboard, and I am distressing the eggs a little bit with my white chalk paint. And what that does is it's just toning down the color a little bit. I'm making sure I don't have a lot of paint on my chip brush, basically dry brushing it, but enough that it's going to come on to my eggs. So I did this with all the eggs in the 4 packages, and I did use all 4 packages for this tree. So I just keep going. I don't think I show you every single one, but I think you sort of get the idea of what I'm doing here. This tree turns out so pretty and I absolutely love it. Now next what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be taking the tree, and now I had some of this leftover bead. It looks like little berries, but they're like little beads on it, and it's for Easter. I got this last year at Hobby Lobby when they had their 50% off on their Easter decor. And what I'm doing is I'm just wrapping it around the tree, but you will see later I'm going to take it off again because I realized that the eggs were going to be covering it, and so I had to go back, take it off, and then put the eggs on. So you'll see that in a minute. So what I'm doing now is I am just going to start gluing my eggs on, and I'm just gluing them next to each other. I do leave little spaces in between because you will see later I'm going to come in with some florals from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to fill in those gaps that there are no eggs. So I keep going with these all the way around the tree, and now you're going to see me, they're all on there. So now I'm going to come in with my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to, in certain areas, just to keep this twine of beads on my tree, I just put a little bit of hot glue and then stick them down. I know this is a hard view of you looking down on what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out a better way to record now that I'm doing these DIYs. But there's the tree, all beautiful with the twine all around it. Now I'm going to use one of these also from the Dollar Tree, and I had to stick my scissors down in there to get it in, but they're just little picks that have an Easter bunny on them, and they're super cute, and I love that they're made of burr wrap. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking some of these Dollar Tree, like I said, flowers, and I'm going to fill in those gaps that you see around the tree. So I'm just going to take some hot glue on and put on my little flowers and then just stick them in between the spaces. And I keep doing this, and I think I used a couple picks that you see there. It didn't take much because there weren't that many spaces, but I wanted to make sure that it was filled out. And actually, I'm glad it was because the flowers gave a really nice touch to this tree. So I also stuck in some of these purple ones. I'm sorry, I don't know the kind of flowers these are. I just randomly pick things at Dollar Tree that I think are pretty and more realistic, and I just buy them. So see how pretty they look? I absolutely love it. So I went in with more, and I go all around the tree in all those spots. And there it is, all done. Look how pretty that looks. So pretty. I absolutely love it. Here are your close-ups, and I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think in the comment box. And next, we're going to go on to DIY number 2. Now, this one is super fun too. I took one of these Dollar Tree signs. It's just like a board and some tower tumble blocks. These 2 signs from the Dollar Tree, everything's from the Dollar Tree. Some felt that I didn't get at Dollar Tree. These stickers from the Dollar Tree, and also some of that wire that I had on hand. So now what I'm doing is I am taking this sign. This was from Valentine's Day. It was left over. And I'm just going to coat it with a coat of my white Waverly chalk paint. Now, I only give this 2 coats because I didn't want it completely covered. Next, I'm going to rip apart these signs, and I'm going to use the eggs that are on them. Now, I pulled off enough to spell Easter because that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm pulling it off, and then you're going to see me come in a minute with my sandpaper, and I'm going to sand off all that glue and gook so I have a nice flat surface. And then after I get through sanding these down, I'm going to come back in with my white chalk paint, and I'm going to give these a coat of the white paint. Now, I only give these 1 coat because I'm going to be distressing them as well. So it really didn't need a full-on coverage, and I do like that wood coming through a little bit on my eggs. So only 1 coat was needed, but you can, coat them however you want, however many times you would like. So I did do the front and backs, and now I'm also going to coat 1 coat of the chalk paint on the little blocks as well. I needed 6 of these as well because these are going to go on the back of each one of those eggs, which you will see in a minute. So now I came in with my sand block, and I also sanded the edges to give it that distressed look. I just love that look on my stuff. I love the rustic look, if I haven't said that already, which I probably have. And I'm just going to keep going with this. And then once I get it the way I like it, I'm going to come in with some gray paint. This is gray chalk paint in the color Steel. And I like using this a lot to distress my stuff. So what I did is I came in with my chip paintbrush, and I'm just going to kind of do very lightly strokes. I just wanted to distress it and make it look really rustic, and that is what I'm going for here with that color. And I do this all around the sides of this and on the top. Now I'm going to come in with my Easter eggs, and I'm also going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go really dark around the edges with it, and then I'm going to just do very lightly in the centers of the eggs. So I get that nice rustic look like that. And I keep doing this with all of the eggs. Now I have enough eggs to spell out Easter, so that's how many I'm going to be doing. Now next, I'm going to come in with my eggs, I'm going to take these letters that you get at Dollar Tree. They're in the decal section. These are wall decals, but they have that nice pastel colors on them. So I thought these would be super fun to spell Easter. So I'm just kind of lining up my eggs because I want to make sure that they're all lined up and even, my letters. So I just took my ruler, placed it down, and kind of used that as my guide to put the letters down. And I just love the way this turned out too. It was such a fun craft to do. And I just keep going to put my letters down. And like I said, I'm going to spell Easter, which you could tell. And once I'm done spelling Easter, then you're going to see what I'm going to do next. I'm going to come in with them blocks and I'm going to glue those down to the back of each egg. But first, I wanted to seal these letters, so I came in with some Mod Podge, and I'm just going with a little bit with my sponge over the top of the letters, just to make sure they don't curl up or come off. And I do this to each one of the eggs. Next, now before I put the blocks on the back of my eggs, I'm sorry, I forgot this part. I'm going to come in and I want to make my own little Easter bunny ears. So I'm coming in with this. This is just some, you can buy this at Joann's. You could buy it anywhere. I think Dollar Store carries these now too. It's just metal wire. And I just shaped it into a bunny ear. And now I'm going to take the felt and I'm going to kind of wrap it around my wire. But first I'm going to cut it out to size. And I basically just cut it in like a triangle shape. And then I'm just going to come in with my hot glue gun and I'm just going to put some glue down and then I'm just going to flip it over on top of that wire. And I'm going to do this on all of the sides and on the top. Now, my ears are not going to look perfect. That's kind of the creative part of it. I didn't want them to look perfect. I wanted them to look a little imperfect because I think that's better anyways. I don't know. I like things to look rustic, different, and I don't like the things to look so perfect. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to glue down the top part. Now the way that I do the top of the bunny ears is I just kind of fold them inward a little bit on the top and I just put like a bead of glue, tack it down, and then I come in with another bead of glue and tack the other part down. And they do look like ears when I'm done and it looks super cute. So just have fun with it. And that's the best part of crafting. Nothing's supposed to be so perfect. So now once I get that all glued down, then I'm going to press that down, make sure it's really on there good. And then I'm going to take a look and see how it looks behind my egg, and I like it. So I did all 6 of those because I'm going to do every other egg with the bunny ears. So now I had some of this burlap ribbon, and I got this from Dollar Tree a long time ago. And I'm just kind of trying to make the centers of my ears. I thought these would bring a nice touch and rustic feel to my bunny ears. So now that I got them all done, I'm going to glue my egg on top of my bunny ears like that. And I think they look super cute. I absolutely love the way this turned out. And I do every other egg, like I said. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one, and I'm going to glue those onto my S. And I just glue them right behind. And I just think it turned out super cute, guys. You let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to leave me thumbs up. And also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you. I'm doing these DIYs at least twice a week. I don't have a set day yet because I also do scrapbooking that I've been doing for a long time now. So if you're interested in scrapbooking, I have some of that on my channel as well. But I do my scrapbooking on Thursdays and Fridays. So if you want to check out the DIYs, they're going to be on the other days. So either be Saturday, Sunday, or sometimes Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So now what I'm doing is I'm kind of doing like my eggs on top. So I took like the E, I put it on top of the A, the S I put on top of the A, kind of staggering them like that. And then kind of putting the other ones a little behind. I thought that that would be a nice look to it, and I really like the way it turned out. So now I'm just kind of lining them up. I wanted to make sure these were straight because when I go to glue them on my board, if one isn't straight, it's not going to go down. So I had to make sure that it was absolutely perfectly straight. So just make sure when you're gluing these together that you have a ruler nearby so that you make sure they're all lined up perfectly, and so that you can put them down on your sign. So once I get that R glued down like so, I'm going to come in with those blocks now, and I'm going to glue them this way. And the reason I'm gluing them that way is because if I went the other way, sideways, then you would have seen the blocks, and I didn't want to see them. So I kind of made sure they were flushed with the edge of the eggs, each egg, and glued them down that way. This way, when I go to stand it up on my sign, you won't be able to see the blocks, and you only see the eggs. So that's kind of why I did it this way. So see, that's how it's going to go. So now I'm going to come in, and I did use my E6000, and I also used my glue. So the E6000 is for permanent hold, and the glue, hot glue, is just for temporary hold. So you want to make sure you use that E6000 to make sure, or you can use wood glue as well, which I didn't have in front of me, so that's why I used the E6000. And that's glued down all nice, and there you go. Super cute, guys. Here are some close-ups of that. Let me know what you think of this DIY in the comments below. So now on to DIY number 3. This one is super quick, and I absolutely love the way it turned out. So I'm taking 2 of these pots that you get from the Dollar Tree. They come 2 in a pack. 2 of these little bunny, they're supposed to be bunny tails. Well, they are bunny tails. I'm going to use those, and I'm also going to use some of those bunny stickers that you just saw, and also some of those little pom-poms, and also I'm going to be using some white Waverly chalk paint and some of those Easter eggs Easter carrots that you saw. Those are also from the Dollar Tree. So what I'm doing is I am just dry brushing this white chalk paint onto these pots. These are clay pots. You all guys probably all know about these at Dollar Tree. I wanted that to show through a little bit. I like the color of the clay pots, so I wanted to keep that. So I just dry brushed, and I did it not lightly. I kind of went a little bit hard on it so you could really see some of the white too. So that's what I did with those. Now I'm going to come in with that steel again, chalk paint in the color steel, and I'm going to come up with my chip brush, and I'm going to go over that. Now this one I'm going to do a little bit lighter, not as heavy as I did with the white chalk paint. And I'm just distressing it, and I just keep going around, and I do these with both of the pots. Now I like these colors like this, but you can do any colors you want. You could do pink, you could do any Easter colors. You can do green, yellow, whatever you choose. Lavender. I mean, there's so many chalk paint out there at Walmart. You can pick by so many different colors. But these are the colors that I happen to like with my decor. So you guys pick what you want. But I absolutely love the way these turned out. They're super cute. And next I'm going to come in with some of these baggies. I use my baggies a lot to like make fillers in my pots. And then I come in with some Spanish moss, and I just fill that on the top. This way you're not using so much of your product, and it'll last a lot longer. So it's just kind of a way to stretch your buck. God, I can't talk today, guys. Sorry. And I just kind of filled in the top. Now I'm going to come in with those carrots, and these are super cute. They're made of twine, and you get them at the Dollar Tree. And I just stuck 2 of them in the pot like that. And then I'm going to come in with my little cottontails, but these are going to be my bunny's little bums. So instead, I used them in a different way. So I kept the clip on because it kind of helped glue them onto the edge of the pot. So I really liked that. And I just hit it with the moss. And I just came in with some glue, glued it down, and they stayed really nice. And then, see how cute they are? It looks like the little bums. They're little bums. And now I'm going to come in with the little pom-poms, and I'm going to use those as my little bunny's tail. And I'm gonna glue those on next, like that. And then those little packages you saw have felt stickers in them, and they have these little bunny paws in them. So these are perfect. So I decided to go with one pink, and I'm going to do one in blue because boy bunny, girl bunny, right? So super cute. And you guys, you can do these with the kids. It's a fun activity and super easy to do. So I absolutely love how these turned out. But I want you guys to let me know what you think down in the comment box. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And like I said, if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you. Here come your close-ups. And I hope you guys all liked my DIYs today. I will be back again next week with some more. And I want to thank you guys for watching. And as always, remember, stay crafty. Bye.